We're going full throttle in this episode. Got a lot to cover. Grab a coffee, grab an energy drink, get your B vitamin boost, whatever you need to get going full speed, because it's time to get hacking. Alrighty then, what's up y'all? As you already know, I'm James with Microvelm, and welcome to the 6th part in our Spreadsheets mini-series. In this episode of Wood Hacks, we're gonna be working with the sub and nested sub workbooks. And yes, I'm still boycotting the word subassemblies. I refuse to say subassemblies, except for when I reference that I'm boycotting subassemblies. In this episode, we're gonna take this product and turn it into this without adding subs through the product prompts and using pick corners. And in the process, we'll make this thing parametric. How about we get started? First off, I'll be working using the foundation library. The product subs and formulas will be different from those in the component libraries, but the process will be similar. Keeping the end product in mind, the product I'm going to start with is the Master Vertical Designer Cabinet, since this product will be split into 3 vertical openings. After placing the product, there are a few changes I need to make in the prompts prior to getting into the spreadsheet. 1, I'm going to change the width to 48 inches. For all you metric peeps, sorry, not sorry. Next, I need to change this from having all the options of a tall cabinet to those of a base cabinet. So I'm going to check the box, Show Advanced Options. In the now visible Advanced Construction Options tab, I'm going to change the product type from tall to base open. Open because we've got 3 open bays in our final product. After that, I'm going to make the same changes to the 3 bay options tabs. I'm going to verify that each bay's face option is set to no door, and set each bay's component insert to horizontal opening splitter component. Lastly, I'm going to adjust my bay opening heights using the calculator. Bay 1 I'll set to 5.5 inches, bay 3 I'll set to 7.5, and calculate the height for bay 2, and click OK to draw. When working with a single product in 3D, I don't like to have all the 2D objects visible. So here's a quick tip for you. In your drawing, type negative layer. Next, type off or select off from the list. When prompted to enter the name list of layers, type 2D_**, and then press enter twice. To turn the layers back on, just type lay on in your command line. All right, now on to the spreadsheet side of things. With Edit Design Data open, I'm going to jump over to the Subs tab, and for this episode, I'm going to set my part filter to only show included parts. Now, a lot of the subs, but not all of them, work using the opening dimensions and origins. We want to make sure we keep that in mind as we move along. We're going to be utilizing the prompt values column for much of this episode. If you need a little refresher, you can go back to the Wood Hacks episode on this, and that's episode 1, by the way. Looking carefully, I can see that there are formulas in this column already for these subs. I'm not going to worry about modifying these formulas. Instead, we're going to be starting from scratch with this product. I don't like to erase formulas, so I'm just going to cut and paste them to some empty cells below and give myself a little note that they're there. Before we start, we're going to need to do some research. Let's start by opening the first subfile. You can right-click and select Show Subfile, use Ctrl-O, or again, if you have a free programmable button on your mouse, set the button to Ctrl-O as I have done. In the Prompts tab, we're going to take a look at the different prompts we want to alter. Again, keeping the end product in mind, we have 3 bays in our top opening, so we need to set our bay quantity to 3. In the cell for that sub in the prompt values column, I'm going to type bay quantity, semicolon 3, and the pipe symbol, because we'll be adding more to this. Next, because we're going to have to add the drawers at the local level, we need to change the component inserts for each of the bays to none. So we'll just type all that in after the bay quantity. Remember, as we type prompt names, you'll need to replace any spaces with an underscore. and repeat for the other bays. Last thing we're going to do to keep this product simple is set the double division prompt to 0. And then we'll close this subassembly. If prompted to save, just cancel. We don't want to save any changes. I'm going to copy this down through my other subs just to give me a head start. In the second splitter for the second bay, I'm going to change this from none to shelf fixed. Everything else I'll leave as is. For the third splitter, again, going back to what we want the end product to look like, I only need 2 bays. So we'll change the bay quantity to 2 and erase everything that references the third bay. Let's go ahead and do a save, close, and redraw to see what we've got so far. All right, things are looking pretty good. We've got our 3 vertical openings. The top 2 have 2 divisions, and the bottom opening has 1 division. Now, we could go into product prompts from here and add the drawer subs using pick corners, but this episode is about working in the spreadsheet. So I'll go ahead and get back into edit design data. From here, I'm going to add 5 rows just to make sure that we don't add anything into the rows where we pasted the original formulas. Next, we'll add the component drawers sub and copy it down 5 times. Let's give each of these a quantity of 1. Next, let's work on the single drawer for the top opening. The width. Because the splitter is breaking up the opening into 3 equal sections, the formula we're going to use will be equals, open parenthesis, inside width minus thickness division times 2, close parenthesis, divided by 3. The height and depth are going to be equal to our bay 1 values, so we can just copy and paste from the first splitter sub. Our X origin for this drawer is going to be in the middle bay, so we want to copy the formula we used for our width. We'll grab everything except for the initial equal sign and copy. Back in our X origin, we're going to type equals opening X plus paste the formula plus thickness division to get us into the correct space. The Y origin will be the same as the splitters, so we can copy and paste again. This will be the same for all the drawers, so I'll just paste it to all of them. The Z origin, again, will match the top splitter Z, so I'll just copy and paste it. For the next 2 drawers, we can copy the same width formula as above. Another cool tip, Control D will copy the contents of the cell directly above the cell you're in. And then for the height and depth, we'll copy the formulas from the Bay 2 splitter sub like we did before. For the X origin of the first drawer in the second opening, we'll type equals opening X, and that's it. For the next drawer, we're going to copy and paste the formula for the top drawer and make a couple of modifications. Looking at the formula, we're going to multiply everything except the opening X portion. So we're going to contain the rest of the formula in parentheses and then multiply by 2. Let's go ahead and grab the Z origin from the second splitter sub. Okay, on to the last 2 drawers. We're going to work similarly as before, copy and modify as necessary. Okay, now with all that done, we need to add some values into the prompt values columns for each of these. To speed things up, I'm going to type this out and explain the reasons for each. For the top drawer, we want to change the drawer quantity to 1. By default, this value is 3. The rest of the changes will be in regard to the overlays. To keep our sight lines clean, we need to adjust some of those overlays. So first, we'll change the value of custom overlays to 1. Then set the left full overlay value to 0. This is turned on by default. Next, we'll set the left half overlay to 1. We'll make the same changes to the right overlay options and bottom overlay options. I'm going to copy this down for the first drawer in the second vertical opening and then open the formula editor. In this instance, we don't want the left overlay to change from full, but we do want to change the top overlay to half. I'm I'm gonna make quick work of this by using the find and replace function. Find left and replace with top. Copy this down again, and this time we want to find right and replace with left. This will set our left overlay to half and give us a full overlay on the right. I'm gonna grab both of these cells and paste them into the bottom two. And then we'll just delete the bottom overlay controls for both. Okay, there's just one more change I wanna make, and that's actually back in our second splitter sub. So let's go ahead and open that guy one more time. Under the sub tab, I wanna open the nested shelf fix sub. And then in the prompts tab, I'm gonna change the add accessories value to 1. And then go down to accessories options, shelf 1, and type hats 1 cap. You know, because it's me and I like hats. We'll save this nested sub to the row, making it unique, but we're not gonna save the parent sub. We'll leave that one as a project level sub. Finally, save, close, and redraw, and we have our product with our nice little hat on the shelf. Dang, that was quite an episode. A lot of stuff to digest in that one, but hopefully you've learned more about how to make custom products, how to manipulate subs using the prompt values column, and are more comfortable working in the spreadsheet than you were before. And the cool thing about everything we did, that product is parametric. If you change the width, height, and depth of the product, all the subs will change with it. That's gonna do it for this Wood Hacks. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay sharp, stay focused, and stay awesome. In this episode of Wood Hacks, we're gonna be Word Hacks. First off, I'll be working using the Libration Foundry. That is a new one. Wow, that was bad. Invisible. We just made it visible. In the now visible, crap, now I can't even get past that. I want to jump over to the subs tab, and for this you can go back to Wood Hacks episode. I need to, in the prompt values, prompt. Next, let's the height and depth are going to be equal to our Bay 1 values, so we can just cut. A lot of stuff in that one, but hopefully.